If you are a new real estate agent trying to figure out where your next lead is coming from, this video is going to save you months of wasted time, money, and second guessing. But before I give you the blueprint, I need to say something that most coaching content never says out loud. Most new agents are overwhelmed, not because they are lazy or unprepared, but because everybody in this industry is handing them a different blueprint. One coach says buy leads. Another says post on social media all day. Another says door knock every morning. Another says build funnels. And most new agents end up doing a little bit of everything and mastering absolutely nothing. That ends today. I am Ken Gould with Agent Performance Coaching. I help real estate agents eliminate the chaos, stay laser focused, and build systems that create consistent growth. And what I am about to give you is the only lead generation framework you need in your first year. Here is the foundation before we get into the 5 sources. Lead generation is not magic. It is a learnable skill, and the agents who commit to mastering it build businesses that last through every market cycle. The fastest path to income in real estate is still direct conversations with real people, not posts, not ads, not funnels. Conversations create clients. Follow-up creates closings. Write that down and put it somewhere you will see it every single day. One more thing before we start. You do not need to feel fully ready before you begin having real estate conversations. Confidence in this business does not come from preparation alone. It comes from repetition. You learn this business by doing this business. So stop waiting until everything feels perfect and start having conversations today. Now here are the 5 lead sources that actually work for new agents right now. And remember, you do not need all 5. Pick 2 that match your personality and your strengths and go completely all in. A simple plan you actually follow beats an aggressive plan you quit after 2 weeks. Every single time. Lead source 1, your sphere of influence. This is not just a lead source. This is the foundation of your entire real estate career. Most new agents treat their sphere like an afterthought, something they tap into when business is slow. That is a mistake that will cost you years of compounding opportunity. Your sphere of influence, when built and nurtured consistently from day 1, can represent 80% or more of your business by year 5. 80%. Think about what that means. That is a business that largely runs on trust, relationships, and reputation, not cold calls, not ad spend, not chasing strangers on the internet. Here is the mindset shift you need to make right now. Every single person you meet, from every other lead source on this list, eventually belongs in your sphere. The buyer you met at an open house, the expired listing seller you helped, the FSBO who finally listed with you, the mortgage broker who sent you a referral. Every one of them goes into your database. Every one of them gets nurtured. Every one of them becomes a potential repeat client and referral source for the rest of your career. Your sphere is not a list. It is a living, growing asset that you build intentionally every single day. So how do you build it early? Personal outreach. Consistent and genuine. A text, a call, a handwritten note, a coffee, not a mass email blast, not a generic social media post. Personal contact with real people who know you, like you, and are beginning to trust you. Stay in front of them. Provide value. Remember details about their lives. Show up when it matters. That is how you build a sphere that pays you back for decades. Start building it on day 1. Nurture it every single week and never stop. Lead source 2, open houses. New agents sleep on open houses, and that is a costly mistake. Done right, an open house is not just about selling that specific property. It is a live lead generation event. You are meeting buyers who are actively in the market right now. You are building relationships with listing agents. You are getting FaceTime with the neighborhood. Host as many as you can. Show up prepared with a simple script and a follow-up system ready before you walk in the door. Most agents collect names and do nothing with them. Be the one who actually follows up. That alone will set you apart from 90% of the agents hosting open houses in your market. And remember, every buyer you meet at that open house goes straight into your sphere. Every agent you connect with goes into your sphere. Every neighbor who stops in goes into your sphere. Open houses are not just lead generation, they are sphere building events. Lead source 3, expired listings. This is where new agents start to separate themselves from the pack. Expired listings are properties that were on the market and did not sell. The seller still wants to sell. They are motivated. They are frustrated. And they are actively looking for an agent who can do what the last one could not. This is a skill-based lead source, which means the more you work it, the better you get and the better your results. Yes, it requires a script. Yes, it requires practice. Yes, the first few calls will feel uncomfortable. But every successful agent you look up to was willing to have conversations that other agents avoided. That is exactly where your edge is. Start learning this skill now. And when you close that expired listing, that seller goes into your sphere for life. Lead source 4, FSBOs, for sale by owners. FSBOs are some of the most motivated sellers in any market. They are trying to sell their home themselves to save the commission. Most of them will eventually list with an agent. The question is whether that agent is going to be you. FSBOs are dramatically underworked by most agents because most agents are not willing to make the call or knock on the door. That reluctance is your opportunity. Approach them with genuine curiosity and a desire to help, not pressure. Build the relationship. Provide value. Stay in front of them. The agents who work FSBOs consistently always have a pipeline. And when that FSBO finally lists with you and closes, they go into your sphere every single time. Lead source 5, strategic partnerships. This is the lead source most new agents miss completely. Build relationships with people who are already talking to your future clients before those clients ever need a real estate agent. Mortgage brokers, financial advisors, CPAs, divorce attorneys, estate attorneys, property managers. One strong relationship with a single mortgage broker can feed your pipeline consistently for years if you nurture it correctly. Low cost, high return. These partnerships take time to build, but once they are in place, they become some of the most reliable and repeatable sources of business in your entire career. And every client who comes through a strategic partner referral goes directly into your sphere and stays there. Do you see the pattern now? Every lead source feeds the sphere. Every conversation is a potential relationship. Every relationship is a potential client, referral, and repeat business opportunity for the rest of your career. This is not just a year-one strategy. This is how you build a business that sustains itself. Here is what I want you to layer in as your confidence grows. Probate and inherited properties, pre-foreclosures, absentee owners. These are additional skill-based proactive lead sources that give you even more control over your income. The deeper you go into proactive lead generation, the more your business stops feeling like a roller coaster and starts feeling like something you actually control. Now here is your action step before you close this video. Pick just two lead sources from this list. Write them down right now. Not 3, not 4, 2. Here is why this matters. Most new agents try to work 5 or 6 lead sources at once and wonder why nothing is gaining traction. The answer is simple. You cannot develop a skill you are not fully committed to. You cannot build momentum across 6 different directions at the same time. You end up spreading yourself so thin that nothing works, and then you convince yourself the strategy is broken when the real problem is the lack of focus. Start with 2. Make your reps. Have the conversations. Feel the discomfort and push through it anyway. Build the skill. Build the habit. Build the confidence that only comes from repetition. Then, and only then, layer in a 3rd. Not because you are bored with the first 2, but because you have genuinely mastered them and have capacity to add more. That is when a 3rd lead source accelerates everything instead of diluting it. You do not need 6 lead sources. You do not need 8. The agents who try to work that many never do any of them well. The agents who master 2 or 3 and execute them with discipline every single day, those are the ones with consistent pipelines, consistent closings, and consistent income. And let me be direct about something else. 3 weeks is not enough time to know if something works. I hear it all the time. I tried expired listings for 3 weeks and nothing happened. I tried open houses for a month and did not get a client. That is not the strategy failing. That is not enough reps. Real estate lead generation rewards consistency over time, not intensity over a short sprint. Give your 2 sources 90 days of real committed daily action before you evaluate them. 90 days of conversations. 90 days of follow-up. 90 days of showing up even when you do not feel like it. That is discipline. That is what DMS means in my world, daily minimum standards. The non-negotiable actions you take every single day, regardless of motivation, regardless of mood, regardless of whether yesterday felt good or bad. What are your 2 sources? What is the one action attached to each of them that you will do every single day? Write it down. Put it on your desk. Do it tomorrow morning before you do anything else. If you want help building your lead generation plan from the ground up and putting your daily minimum standards into a real system, reach out and let's map it out together. The link is below. Subscribe if this gave you clarity. A lot more is coming that will help you build this business the right way. Because the blueprint exists. The lead sources are right in front of you. All that is left is the decision to commit.